Hi lovelies, welcome to this video where I'm going to be talking about what to pack in your hospital bag. If you haven't been to this channel before, my name's Emma. I recently became a mum of two and I'm just sharing experiences and tips from being a mummy and some other lifestyle bits as well. So if you're not subscribed, do click the subscribe button and let's jump straight into the video. Okay, so I gave birth in September. My baby boy was born on the 22nd of September. So it's fairly recently that I went into hospital and I've been meaning to film this video ever since. The first thing that I took with me to the hospital was a roller suitcase. So we had a hard shell small luggage case, kind of the same size that you could just put in an overhead locker on the airplane, and I found this pretty much could fit quite a lot of the things that I needed. We did also bring a sports bag, but it was quite small and light, so I could just also carry that one as well if I needed to. Also, when you go into hospital, you do sometimes have to move between different rooms. In my first pregnancy, I was really lucky with the labour. I did the whole thing in one single room, apart from moving along to the birthing pool room. But this time we had to move around a few different times, so it's definitely worth having bags that are easily takeable from room to room, and it's not going to be too tricky to zip them all back up again and move along. I found it really handy to take small little bags like this and have them within my bigger bag, so it meant that I could categorise things all into the same little pouch that I felt could go together. It also then makes it really easy if you ask your partner to just grab you something. If you label it just with a small sticky label and writing on of what's inside the bag, you can just very quickly and easily tell your partner which little mini bag that you need, and they're not rooting around the whole case looking for a few different items for you. You know it's all just in the one place. Also, you'd have a toiletry bag, so you'd pop in your toiletry bits and things like that. So in my toiletry bag, I had a mini shampoo, a mini conditioner, a mini toothpaste, a toothbrush, a deodorant, and also a couple of little skincare bits. If you're not going to be in hospital very long and you're not the kind of person that washes your hair every single day, then you might not need the small shampoo and conditioner, but if you're just packing minis anyway, you may as well just throw them in there because it's just easier to have them than to not. The skincare bits I really couldn't have done without actually. Hospitals are so warm, so I feel like they're really drying on your skin. Couple that with having kind of hardly any sleep, probably being dehydrated, and not to mention pushing a baby out or having a baby taken out of you is incredibly drying on the skin. So one of the things I was most looking forward to after giving birth was having that shower and then just lathering on my skincare. So definitely a good moisturiser, a good eye cream, and some Vaseline for your lips as well. If you're hitting the gas and air as hard as I was, then your lips are definitely going to be dry and your throat is going to be very sore. Also, on that note, I hadn't packed this myself, but you could probably whack some throat lozenges in there as well. If you're on the gas and air quite heavily, it can be very drying on your throat, and I almost lost my voice the next morning following labour where I'd been on the gas and air. So actually a throat lozenge or two would have been really nice just to have that little soother for my throat. Each to their own. If you think you're going to be on gas and air, it might be worth thinking about. That does bring me onto snacks. I feel that snacks were an essential part this time around for me. You can have anything like sweets, savoury. Personally, I had a mixture. So I actually ended up ordering McDonald's an hour before my contractions started, and then kind of into when my contractions were just starting, I was chowing down some chicken nuggets. But that aside, we had cereal bars with us. So I had the really crunchy granola cereal bars. I can't think what they're called right now. I'll share a picture below. And then we had wine gums, you know, helping you keep up with a little bit of sugar throughout the whole experience. Really helped me. And it was also nice for my partner to have a little munch on some of the sweets at the same time. Also, you'll completely underestimate how much time there is. I mean, for the majority of people, some people's labours are really fast, but we really underestimated how much time there would be just waiting around in between. We ended up categorising the wine gums in a little line of least favourite to most favourite, and then we revealed them to each other to see if they were the same, and that's how much time we really had on our hands. To go with your snacks, you'll definitely then want some drinks. So obviously lots of water. I had a huge flask that kept the water really cold, and I thought that was amazing, because in between the contractions I could just sip on the cold water, and it being really cold was just such a nice kind of refreshing feeling. And I had the orange Lucozade Sport, so not the fizzy one, the still one with the sports cap. I got one extra large size, but I definitely could have done with two and maybe different flavours to switch it up. So I would have got one of the orange, and then I should have got one of the raspberry flavour as well, really. Okay, so I've covered toiletries and I've covered snacks and drinks as well. As you can tell, my baby has now woken from his nap and he's come to join me, so he's just next to me here in his little bouncer. I will insert a little clip of him here. Another thing that you'll definitely need is a charger. So sometimes the plug sockets are in strange places in hospitals, so I'd recommend getting one with a really long wire if possible. You can just order those off of Amazon or eBay. And that's going to mean that you can plug it in maybe right down on the floor, and then it will stretch all the way up into the bed that you're in. I wasn't on my phone that much during the labour, but definitely afterwards when you're recovering and baby's just kind of sleeping either next to you or on you, then that's when you'll definitely need the long charger. Then definitely a game of some sort. We went with Uno, but anything else that takes your fancy, really. Another item that I absolutely loved was my spray fan bottle. So I could spray my face with the spray and then hold the fan on it like this, and it was just so cooling and nice and just gave me a break from the contractions. It just gave my brain something a little bit different to think about. Next, I'd recommend some earphones. If you're the kind of person that loves to listen to music or even your hypnobirthing tracks, then you may not want to play that out loud until you're in your own labour room. And even then you might just prefer to have it in your own ears. Maybe you're the type of person that likes to listen to music really loudly, in which case, you know, you could just have it as loud as you want in your ears and it's not going to be in everybody else's. On that same kind of technology note, I'd also recommend either downloading your films or programs onto your iPad beforehand. At least that way then you're not relying on 4G or Wi-Fi, you've just already got it downloaded on there ready to go. It makes things so much easier and quicker. Another thing that I'd make sure to have ready beforehand is a playlist of some sort if you do want to listen to music. Okay, now moving on to clothing. There are a range of different clothes that I would really recommend you take. So definitely some sort of birth nightie or something that you want to give birth in, big baggy t-shirt. You might be somebody who just wants to be in your bra and nothing else, that's absolutely fine. But what I had on was a little button down nightie, so I could, you know, lift it up, or it was just very loose over my bump. I didn't want anything tight, I didn't want any shorts or any tight knickers or anything like that, so a loose fitting nightie. And then to go with that, I also had a crop top bra underneath, so I literally just get the little plain ones from Primark. If you're going in the birthing pool, you don't really want to be getting in your nightie, so then I'd recommend being able to take that nightie off or that big baggy t-shirt off and then just be left in your bra. Then for afterwards, you're definitely going to want a nursing bra, whether you are planning on breastfeeding or not. I suppose maybe not so much if you are not planning on giving breastfeeding a go, but definitely if you want to give breastfeeding a go, I'd recommend just putting on a nursing bra. You can very easily pop it open and pull it down for those special moments when baby is just starting to suckle when they're first born. Then I'd also recommend some button-down pyjamas. So again, because of that same reason, you're going to want button access, easy access for opening up for giving the baby a little suckle on the breast, and then buttoning them back up again makes it really nice and easy. Long sleeve or short sleeve, I don't think it makes too much of a difference. Mine was short sleeve and I was not cold at all, but then again it was September, so it's probably slightly milder. Then the underwear. So I was in a bit of a conundrum about what underwear to buy. My best friend recommended me the Marks and Spencer's large black knickers, which I will leave a link for below. She said they're amazing. I didn't get around to ordering any of those quite in time. So I went to Tesco's and got mine. I got a couple of microfiber, really stretchy and in a size too big, grey and black pairs. They were so comfy, really, really stretchy and soft, exactly what you need. something a little bit higher so it's not too low cut. If you do end up having a cesarean section, you can then pull it over the top. And then I did invest in these before I went in to give birth. I was sceptical about them at first. I didn't have them for my first labour, but I don't know why I didn't, because they're actually amazing. It's the Freedom Mum, I think, kind of shorts. They're made out of material. They're disposable shorts. So they're amazing because they're so stretchy. They're absorbable, so if there are any leaks, then it will kind of absorb. It won't go straight through onto your clothes. So you've got a little bit of time to get to the toilet and change, you know, before it's going to go straight through. And they're so nice and high, so comfy, pulled right up over onto my belly to make sure everything was all nice and held in. And then it's got enough room down here for your big maternity towel. Then you're going to want some sort of footwear. So I am a Crocs gal. If you don't like Crocs, you might want just some normal flip-flops or hard-soled shoes. Even hard-soled slippers could work well as well. But like I say, it is very warm in the hospital. So if you've got kind of fur-lined slippers and you're walking around in those, you might get too hot. I just really appreciated having shoes that were airy, that I could just slip on, especially after getting out of the shower and things like that. So take them with you into the shower room. You can just slip them back on nicely, walk back down the corridor. You haven't got to stand on the floor when you're in the shower room or anything like that, which really creeps me out. And then finally, for the clothing, I would say maybe a dressing gown. I don't think you're going to need a big thick one. I think it's going to be too hot. But if you're a really cold person or you just want to feel snuggly, maybe a big dressing gown. Okay, nearly there. We're on to aftercare. These are some of the things that I really recommend, having had 2 children now. Both of my births were vaginally, so I haven't got experience with C-section. So this is just from my experience. I would definitely recommend getting yourself one of these. This is the Lancino. I call it a portable bidet, but I'm not actually sure what the proper name is. But basically, you fill this up with water in the sink. You then go to the toilet, you sit down on the toilet, you put this down and you squeeze it and the water shoots up. So instead of having to get some toilet roll and wipe when you finish, what I did was lukewarm water, and it was so nice and refreshing, not having to use toilet paper. What I would do is I would use this, and then if I wasn't convinced that it was completely clean, I would go in with a water wipe afterwards. So having this, it just feels like a little mini wash every single time you need a wee. Also, this is such a big top tip, which I did not do when I had my first baby, but I would recommend it so much. After you've given birth, drink more water than you think you need, because the first time I didn't, and when I first went for a wee, it stank so badly because I was so dehydrated. Whereas this time, I would not stop drinking. I was just drinking water, trying to keep myself so hydrated. So then when I went for my first wee after I'd given birth, or, you know, my first 1, 2, 3rd wee, for example, it was so much easier and less stingy. The next item is the My Expert Midwife Spritz for Bits. This is amazing. I had it the first time. I had to buy it again this time. Every single time I went to the loo, I'd spray with this, wipe with a nice cold water wipe, and then spray this on your nether region afterwards. Carefully selected ingredients including tea tree oil with antibacterial properties, witch hazel and lavender oil, so it helps to clean, protect and soothe. It gives like an instant little numb and freshen up. Oh, it feels so good, honestly, after you've given birth. It's so stingy down there that when you spray this, it just feels that little bit better. It also smells really nice. So like I say, when you've gone to the toilet, you've done kind of like the 3-step, this, the water wipe, and then this. You put on a fresh pad, pull the little shorts back up, or put on a new pair of shorts with a new pad, and you're feeling brand new again. And you have to do that a lot of times afterwards because you go through your pads quite quickly. That leads me on to the next thing, which is maxi kind of afterbirth pads. They do sell them in Boots. I got mine from Boots this time. I think the brand was Always. Stock up. They're relatively cheap, so I'd just get more than you think you need and for longer than you think you need. I think I was bleeding for about 7 to 10 days this time, but it can go on for longer and then it gradually teeters off. But at first it's a lot kind of quicker than you'd think. Like maybe think changing your pad every hour, that kind of number of times that you'll be changing. And it's different for everybody, but that was just me. At first it was kind of like every hour. And the final thing that I haven't mentioned is a black towel. So actually 2 black towels. So 1 black body towel. This is for either if you get in the pool, but you know, for showers afterwards as well. And then also a smaller hand towel, so maybe when you're washing your face, when you're in the room brushing your teeth. The other big black one you can take down for showers with you. Yes, the hospitals do give you towels, but they are white and they aren't as soft and nice as your towels from home, so I'd recommend bringing some nice towels anyway. The only thing that I haven't mentioned on here that is also great is a really comforting pillowcase or soft thing from home. I bought my pillow with my silk pillowcase on top of it. I had it underneath me when the contractions were starting. After birth, I had it on my bed so that I could just lay back and feel like I was on my nice pillow rather than the hospital ones, which are obviously a bit more crinkly. The cotton on the pillowcase isn't as soft, so I just liked that as a home comfort for myself. My little man wants me to talk and play with him now, even though he's loved watching me this whole time. Hopefully for you mums, this is everything that you will need. It's definitely everything I needed. So thank you so much for watching. Please like the video if you got this far. Thanks, bye. Just me popping back on after I've already finished filming, just to say that I did forget to mention hairbrush and hair things, so I'd go with a claw clip and a couple of hairbands as well.